Every exam candidate eventually discovers a small secret. The exam never truly changes. The questions may be worded differently each time, each year, but they circle around the same five ideas: travel, hobbies, family, friends, and relationships. These are not exam topics, they are life. So today we are not cramming definitions. We are learning English through lived moments. How people actually speak, feel, work, and describe the world around them. Each short story will unwrap useful expressions one at a time so that every phrase becomes something you understand with your imagination, not just your memory. Let's start with travel. I'll move from one topic to another seamlessly. So we start with travel because movement is how every story begins. So picture Monday morning. You're driving to work under grey clouds. Car stretched ahead, bumper to bumper. Literally, one car's front bumper almost touching the next car's back bumper. So that is bumper to bumper. It's an image of closeness, of pressure, of no space to breathe, no space to move. That's why we use it for heavy traffic, bumper to bumper. You can say the highway traffic was bumper to bumper during morning rush. And this slow ritual is called your commute. So the word means your regular, repeated journey between home and work, your commute. It's not just a trip, it's a commute. A commute carries routine and time pressure. Someone might sigh, my daily commute takes 40 minutes each way. Each way. And when traffic barely moves, we say it's crawling. The traffic is crawling. Or worse, it's at a standstill. A standstill. So each word paints speed or lack of it. So if you talk about this in the IELTS exam, long daily commutes increase stress and reduce family time. Now imagine Friday evening. The week is done. You close your laptop and whispers the magic words. Holiday mode. I'm in a holiday mood. You go on a trip. You book a hotel. You pack your bags and finally, away from it all. Some travelers prefer comfort. We stayed at a beachfront resort. Others travel carefully, or we traveled on a shoestring budget. That phrase means travel with very little money. Imagine tying your shoelace and tying your wallet with a shoestring. So you could say, young people often travel on a shoestring budget to see more, spend less to see more of the world. Modern travel also brings modern responsibility. So we often hear carbon footprint. That's the total amount of greenhouse gases a person or a journey produces. The word footprint comes from the mark a foot leaves on the ground, on the sand. Carbon footprint means the mark you leave on the planet. Compare it with digital footprint, the trail you leave online, your posts, your searches, your comments. So if you leave me a comment at the end of this video, you are leaving a digital footprint. So carbon footprint marks the earth and the other digital footprint marks the internet. Taking public transport instead of driving short distances can reduce our carbon footprint. Travel vocabulary easily connects to environmental themes like sustainable tourism, eco-friendly vehicles, renewable energy in transport. When you use these terms, sustainable, eco-friendly, renewable, they make you sound globally aware, and that's a clear Band 7, Band 8 quality. And when that long flight ends, you may feel jet lagged. That's right, your body clock confused by the time zones. It's the cost of crossing the world. But then you step outside, you breathe the foreign air, and you realize why people travel. Travel changes scenery, yes, but it is more importantly, it changes your perspective. When we return from travel, what do we do with ordinary days? We fill them with small joys, our hobbies. Imagine coming home from work, shoulders stiff, phone still buzzing, you make tea, you feel the need for something that belongs only to you. So you decide to take up a hobby. So to take up means to start a new activity, usually to relax or grow as a person. I took up painting. Someone might take up painting, join a dance class, or learn to bake. A hobby helps you unwind, to relax, the same way a spring uncoils. So you might say, painting helps me unwind after a busy day. Another word, it's de-stress. Painting helps me to de-stress after a busy day. And sometimes we call hobbies stress busters because buster means something that defeats, something that destroys, takes away. Yes, like the movie Ghostbusters, if you remember. Only here we are chasing away tension, stress, not ghosts. Jogging each morning is my biggest stress buster. It clears my head before I go to work. A good hobby can also be a creative outlet. Creative outlet. A safe space for emotions and ideas. You could say, writing short stories gives me an outlet for my imagination, a creative outlet. Some hobbies brings us outdoors, hiking, gardening. This is my garden. Photography. They take us back to nature, meaning to reconnect with the world beyond screens, beyond books. Others are quiet or digital, reading, coding, editing photos. But what matters is that they recharge. On weekends, I tend to my balcony plants. Watching them grow is a quiet way to recharge. Sports take that energy and turn it outward. So, some common collocations: get in shape, build stamina, improve endurance, boost confidence. So, these are the things that sports can help you do. So, you can say, I joined the local swimming club to get in shape and to meet new friends. If you lose motivation, you might say, you're out of shape. When effort returns, you say, you get back into the habit. You get back in shape. So, everyday idioms. These are English idioms. They include step up your game, which is to try harder than before. Step up your game. Or hit your stride to reach a natural rhythm. Or go the extra mile. Make an extra effort, an additional effort in your training. We can also use emotional vocabulary in sports like team spirit, fair play, discipline, resilience. So, in your speaking part, you might explain playing team sports builds resilience because you learn to handle both victory and defeat. And that brings us naturally to the next topic, the people we share those moments with, family and friends. Think of the faces waiting at home for you after a long commute or a match, a sports match. Family is often the first theme that appears on any English exams because it's universal. You can describe your immediate family, your parents, brothers or sisters, or your extended family, which includes your cousins, uncles, aunts, grandparents. A family that shares warmth is a close knit family, one that lives apart but stays emotionally linked. We might say we are close even though we live in different cities. Now imagine Sunday lunch. Everyone talking at once, passing dishes, teasing each other. You can say, meal times are lively in our household. There's always laughter and friendly arguments. So, vocabulary here includes upbringing, the way parents raise their child, household chores, daily tasks that I don't like. I'm sure you don't like to do. So, those are chores, daily household chores. And family traditions, those are customs, things we do as a family repeatedly each year. Idioms grow naturally from such scenes. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So the apple falls, but it falls near the tree. What does that mean? It means that children resemble parents. So children are not very different, are not very far from their parents because they look like their parents, they behave like their parents, they resemble their parents. Run in the family. Run in the family? So that describes a shared trait, a shared behavior, a shared character. So patience runs in our family, meaning my father is a patient person, my mother is a patient person, my mother is a patient person, and so I am a patient person because it runs in the family. So it's not by dictionary that we explain these idioms. These idioms show how family similarities travel together through generations like invisible genes. Now, friendship. We move from people we are born with to the people we choose. You might have a small circle of friends you trust, or a wide social circle. To catch up. To catch up with someone means to exchange news after some time apart. I caught up with a university friend over coffee last week. Caught up with a friend over a meal, over coffee. To spend quality time means time that truly strengthens a bond, a friendship, a relationship, even though the time might be short. So we only met monthly, but it's always quality time. When life gets busy, friends can drift, drift apart, gradually lose closeness. Later, we can reconnect, find our rhythm again. We drifted apart when we started new jobs, but we reconnected during the pandemic and speak often now. These phrases feel real because everyone has lived them. And examiners recognize authenticity instantly because it's coming out from your heart and what you have lived, what you've experienced, not what you have made up. So notice the transition. The relationships with family, they teach us patience. Friendships teach us choice. That's the bridge into the next section. What holds relationship together when things get complicated? Every relationship, whether family or friendship, faces moments of tension. Imagine two colleagues disagreeing. The atmosphere turns cold until one says, let's clear the air, clear the air, let's clear the air. So that idiom means to talk honestly, to remove misunderstanding, to clear things up. It's like opening the window in a stuffy room to let fresh air come in. Sometimes people have a falling out, a falling out. That's a disagreement that causes distance. So we fall out, we fell out. Later, they may reconcile, make peace, reconnect, reconcile. You can say, we had a falling out last year, but after a heart to heart talk, we reconciled. We had a falling out last year, but after a heart to heart talk, we reconciled. A heart to heart talk is a conversation where you speak honestly about feelings. It doesn't need to be a drama, it needs sincerity. We can bury the hatchet, which means to forgive and move on. We mend fences. We mend fences is to repair damaged relationship. I mended fences with my friends. Go through a rough patch. Go through to experience. A rough patch, difficulties. To go through a rough patch, to experience difficulties. Mutual respect. Respect in both directions. I respect you, you respect me. It's mutual. Mutual respect. In an exam, you might be asked, what makes a relationship last? You could say, I think mutual respect and patience are essential. Every relationship goes through rough patches, but if you communicate openly, you can always mend fences. Notice how we use vocabulary and emotion, how they both move together. So, good English isn't hiding your feelings, it's organizing it, it's expressing it. Relationships also give us more idioms of endurance. For example, to ride out the storm. To ride out something means to survive something, to go through something, to ride out, like riding a bicycle. The storm is a difficult time. So to ride out the storm. To stand by someone. So someone is here, you stand by someone, is to support them, to see eye to eye. That's to agree or to understand each other. So, example from life. During my father's illness, my friends stood by me completely. That experience taught me what loyalty means. So, my friends stood by me, my friends supported me, and that experience taught me what loyalty means. And that loyalty is what links this section back to the earlier ones, because loyalty is what keeps both families and friendships alive. Why these topics never die? Think of everything that we've covered: traffic, holidays, hobbies, meals, conversations, family, friends. These aren't academic categories, they are rhythm of ordinary life. IELTS, or any exams, English exam, repeats them because they test the language of life. Routine, relaxation, relationships. And examiners don't want perfect grammar. They want believable communication. They want to see if you can paint a picture, a nice picture with words, make ideas come out alive, connecting them, and keep the listener engaged. So practice English through your own moments, from your own experience. Describe your actual commute, not an imaginary one. Talk about a hobby you truly enjoy that you do, not one from a list. And mention the person who inspires you, not some celebrity you don't care about, because real emotion gives real fluency. Every phrase we use today can grow. Commute can become public transport policy in a writing task. Stress busters can lead to mental health awareness. Reconcile can appear in essays about international relations. Language definitely travels. So these topics never die because life never stops repeating them. Only we change each time they return. In other videos, we'll be discussing one theme at a time: travel, family, hobbies, diets, foods, different things, and build a full model answers from these real expressions and real experiences.